God bless the child that's got his own.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Mindset channel. I'm sitting here thinking about the new stuff I'm seeing out there and wondering what happened to the old, man. People like Lady Day, Billie Holiday. Man, jazz music wouldn't be music. Music in general wouldn't be music without the things that she did that affected it. You know what I'm saying? So tonight, I want to take a deep dive into the story of her life and the things that she went through. Kind of tragic situation, but she left us with some good stuff, and we're going to check that out right now. But make sure you stay to the end. It's going to be kind of like a deep dive. You're going to learn some things you might not have known.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.
Now, baby, I've been so sad.
What happens when pain becomes your only teacher and your voice becomes your only weapon? What if your suffering could be felt in every note that you sang? So much so that the government tried to silence you for it. This is the story of Billie Holiday, not just a jazz legend, but a woman who turned tragedy into timeless art, who defied racism, addiction, betrayal, and left behind a voice that still haunts us today. Before she was Lady Day, she was Eleanora Fagan, born April 7, 1915 in Philadelphia, but raised in Baltimore. In poverty so deep, her childhood felt more like survival than growing up. They say pain makes the best teachers, but what if the student becomes the voice of generations to come? What if her teacher was trauma and her classroom was the streets of Baltimore, Maryland? Well, she was born to a 13-year-old mother and a jazz musician father who rarely was around. Her childhood wasn't a childhood at all. At age 11, she was sexually assaulted, and in a cruel twist, the system blamed her for seducing the man. She was sent to a reform school while the predator walked free. That was the beginning of a lifelong lesson. It seemed that the world didn't protect little black girls, and it sure didn't protect Billie Holiday. She found early work cleaning brothels. Upstairs, jazz records would play while she scrubbed floors. She listened, absorbed, studied without even knowing it. Her teachers were Bessie Smith and Louis Armstrong because of it. But more than that, her teacher was sorrow. By the time she was a teenager, Billie was singing in Harlem clubs, using a voice that didn't soar like Ella's or hit like Sarah Vaughan's precision. Billie did something else. She bit the melody, bit time itself. She didn't chase the beat. She floated above it, behind it, in it and out of it, like she was teasing you into her world, one broken syllable at a time.
Now, baby, I'll never, and it ain't no fault of mine.
People didn't always understand her style at first. It was different at the time and raw. It was way more emotional than the world had ever seen. It was hers and hers alone. Then came Benny Goodman, Teddy Wilson, and Lester Young, who didn't just play with her, he named her Lady Day. She called him Prez. Now, they weren't lovers, they were something deeper, soulmates in sound. Her recordings in the 1930s and 40s changed everything. God Bless the Child, Lover Man, Gloomy Sunday. Each one less about vocal range and more about raw truth.
Hush now, don't explain.
You see, when Billie sang, you didn't just hear the song, you felt it. Like someone had cracked open her chest and let the sadness out note by note. But Billie Holiday wasn't just a voice, she was a threat to the system. In 1939, she performed a song called Strange Fruit. If you're brave enough, I dare you to look it up and check it out. It's not a love ballad, not a club number, a protest.
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze.
A haunting poem about lynching, written by a Jewish teacher. Banned from some clubs, but Billie sang it like it was her last breath. She had her eyes closed, lights down, no encore, just truth. And you have to know it offended the hearts and minds of those who may have secretly felt forms of guilt. And that's when the war began. When Harry Anslinger, head of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, made it his mission to destroy her. Nah, he couldn't arrest her for singing, so he went after her addiction. Because along the way in her life, at one point Billie had turned to prostitution, then to heroin, just to numb, just to cope with the pain. Anslinger saw that as his way in, planted informants, and then had her arrested, sent to prison. Yeah, those were some crazy times. When she got out in 1948, the government stripped her of a cabaret license. That meant she couldn't perform in any New York clubs. She couldn't legally sing in her own city. Imagine that. The voice of a generation silenced by paperwork and punishment. But Billie kept fighting.
If you're kind of lonely and all by your only.
She toured, she recorded. Her body was breaking down, but her soul got stronger. In 1958, she released Lady in Satin, but her voice wasn't as smooth anymore. It was rough, cracked, trembling, but my goodness, it was honest. That album wasn't music, it was a confession. This lady loved deeply, often dangerously. Her relationship with men were volatile. Some of them beat her, some used her. She once said, "You can't trust a man any farther than you can throw a piano." But she still believed in love, still chased it, still sang for it.
Oh, my man, I love him so.
Yeah, she loved all of them. So, Billie Holiday had 3 husbands, James Jimmy Monroe, Joe Guy, and Louis McKay, but she did not have any children of her own. Now, by 1959, Billie Holiday was dying. Her liver was failing. Her heart was now in unrepairable condition. With police literally stationed at a hospital door, that's because Anslinger had even chased her there too, rummaging through her belongings in her hospital room, still looking for more drugs to pin on her. This may have been the last straw, because, unfortunately, Billie Holiday died with $50 in a bank account. And the crazy thing is that someone had pinned $700 to her leg as she lay there. This was done by a fan who just couldn't stand the idea of her dying broke. And on this sad day, Billie was just 44 years old. But here's the twist. Her story didn't just end there. Billie Holiday became a blueprint, a warning, a saint, a survivor. She didn't just influence jazz, she bent the future of soul, blues, and R&B all around her pain.
I swear I've
You can hear Billie in Nina and in Aretha and Amy Winehouse. You can hear her in silence, in slow notes, in moments where the truth dares to peek through the beauty. The one thing about Billie, she wasn't perfect. She wasn't always right, but she was honest. And in a world that punishes black women for being too much, too loud, too broken, too real, or too true, Billie Holiday sang away, and that's why she still matters today. In modern times, I immediately heard and spotted Billie's reincarnation as singers like Erykah Badu when I first heard her. The singing and the character of Billie and Erykah are remarkably similar. And then you had Jill Scott, who came along and took that flavor from Erykah to build her career in the jazzy neo-soul realm. But all these new singers using that old Billie Holiday emotion and drawl in their delivery got it from the blueprint. Yeah, it can be imitated if you're good enough, but it can't be duplicated. Why? Because there will always only be one of the magnificent Miss Billie Holiday, and you just gotta respect that. Yeah, and that's the story of Lady Day, and as simple as that, man. She went through a lot from the day she was born until the day that she died. But she did do some terrific things when it comes down to music. Music will never be the same without her. She just left that lasting effect. I hope you learned something today. Leave something in the comment. Tell me about what you know about her and what I need to know that I didn't talk about. And I'm going to see you guys next time. I hope you appreciate this stuff on the Music Mindset channel, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.